right arm over the wicket. It's a great shot.
Get ready for the weekly dose of cricket updates, commentaries, predictions, interviews with cricket stars and a look at the local cricket scene with host Archan Mehta and Dr. Nilesh Mehta in show CricBaaz every Sunday 4 to 5 pm only on Radio Zindagi 1550 AM.
Okay, welcome back to Radio Zindagi 1550 AM. This is your host Archan, and we have Dr. Mehta, as well as a Punjab Kings fan in Professor Anand Desai. Professor Anand, welcome to CricBaaz.
Thank you for having me, Archana.
Okay, so Punjab is one of the three teams to have not won the IPL. Recently, I was seeing memes around where there should be like a triangular series that should go preceding IPL with Punjab, DC, and RCB, and whoever wins that should be allowed in the next version of IPL. Your thoughts on those memes?
Well, I mean, that's interesting reference, right? I don't know how so we are getting started, but my interest in Punjab Kings really comes from one Priti Zinta, right? Because if you look at historically, they've been among the most underperforming franchises, at least as far as results go. I mean, they made the playoffs only two times in the last 16 editions. Their best year was 2014 when they topped the table, in fact, and unfortunately lost to KKR in the final in a close game. But I think more importantly, talking about underperformance, I mean, they've been in the bottom three. I was just looking at some numbers, bottom three on as many as seven occasions in the top bottom three of the table on as many as seven occasions, which just speaks of what we spoke about. And yet, actually, historically, if you look at, I also looked at some head-to-head record against all the franchises. They were fairly close, actually, head-to-head record against most franchises. A very close. They have a positive record only against RCB. They have a close record against most franchises, except perhaps KKR, where they have 11 to 21. KKR has won 21 occasions out of 32, and against RR, where they have 11 and 16. But otherwise, against most of the franchises, they were close record. I mean, they win games, but you rarely get the feeling that they will win the crunch moments and actually go on all the way. Again, particularly against the big sides. So I think that's been the story really. You get the feeling that it isn't a serious cricket franchise. You just somehow get the feeling that it's all about glamour. But speaking of glamour, there's also KKR, right? But it does come across as a cricketing force, a lot more of a cricketing force than Punjab Kings, having won the title twice, have made the finals once, and have made the playoffs a couple of times. Uh, I mean, I'm almost talking like a like a non-Punjab Kings fan right now. But as I said, my interest really comes from one Miss Priti Zinta. So non-cricketing reasons, perhaps, and I wish one could talk. Yeah, there are things to talk about as far as cricket is concerned. It's not all bad because if you go deeper, there are things to say. Yeah.
Anand, Anand, I have a non-cricketing question. You are a professor of marketing, and Punjab Kings as a franchise, and then you look at Karthik's team, right? Chennai Super Kings, Archan's team, Mumbai Indians, the Gujarat Titans. What has Punjab Kings done wrong that they have not climbed the ladder in terms of that marketing prowess? Or am I wrong in saying that they have done anything wrong? Or maybe it's that belongs to that part of the geographic part of the country where cricket is perhaps not as prevalent as it would be in Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, or Delhi, perhaps. Just wanted to pick your brain as a marketing professor in terms of the Punjab Kings' success as a franchise. I'm not talking about cricket. They haven't won the IPL. We know.
Yeah, I get it. I look. I think north of India as a region, I think a lot of the interest in a team would come from the success that it achieves, right? And what could say the same for Delhi Capitals as well, because it's a North Indian franchise. And these are two. Incidentally, these are the two sides, as Archon spoke about, the two of the three franchises that have never won an IPL or haven't even looked like they will win an IPL title. And I think a lot of the fan following comes from, I believe, success that it achieves. And Punjab Kings, having made the playoffs only twice out of the 16 editions, I think probably the answer lies there. I'm just second guessing right now.
So प्रोफेसर साहब, मसान का मूवी का एक डायलॉग है कि ये दुख काहे खत्म नहीं होता, because Harry Brook didn't join them, Johnny Bairstow is not performing, Shikhar Dhawan is out injured, Harshal Patel didn't exactly pan out as he went high in auction. तो डॉक्टर साहब ये दुख खत्म कब होगा?
ये दुख.
Is that a question for the doctor, sir? Yeah, okay.
I'm talking about doctor of marketing. You.
Doctor of marketing is Professor साहब, yeah.
पंजाब
Okay.
किंग्स पंजाब किंग्स से चैंपियन आप हो, आप बड़े फैन हो. ये स्क्रीन पे 4 लोग हैं, आप पंजाब किंग्स के सबसे बढ़िया फैन हो. तो मार्केटिंग कैप भी पहनो और क्रिकेटिंग कैप भी पहनो, दोनों कैप पहनो आप.
ये दुख पता नहीं कब खत्म होगा. आई
होगा.
थिंक ये सवाल काफी लोगों के जहन में है. ये कब दुख खत्म होगा बहुत कम लोग जानते हैं. बट आई मीन इफ यू लुक एट अगर उनके इफ यू लुक एट देयर टीम this year particularly, you have a Shikhar Dhawan and you have a bunch of among the in the Indian contingent. There is Shikhar Dhawan and there are a bunch of other people who are actually most of them on the batting side. Most of them are actually uncapped players. All of them, in fact, are uncapped players except Jitesh Sharma, who hasn't played T20 for India. On the bowling side, there are a few others. There's Arshdeep, of course. There is Harshal Patel, like Archon spoke about. But by and large inconsistent, right? You look at even the overseas players, there are a bunch of Englishmen there. There's Sam Curran, there's Liam Livingston, there's Johnny Bairstow. There are a bunch of people, there's Kagiso Rabada. So there are people who are, I mean, on paper, they look strong, right? I mean, these are all performers for their national sides. But they're underperforming, which is why we say underperforming, because on paper it all looks good, but when it comes down to the crunch moments, when it comes down the field of play, they're inconsistent. And even on the Indian side, I mean, what do you expect? Shikhar Dhawan is past his prime. He doesn't play at the national level. What do you expect? So, I mean, I think you must look at the side as well. They have a very good, by the way, they have a very good coaching staff. They have Trevor Bayliss, right? They have Sanjay Bangar as the head of cricket development. There's Trevor Bayliss, as I said, as head coach. They've Brad Haddon as the assistant coach, and they have 3 bowling coaches, which is a rarity, right? They have a fast bowling coach, they have a spin bowling coach, and they have an assistant bowling coach. I mean, so they have the support staff needed, but then it is the players that I believe it's always the players that perform out there in the middle, right? So I mean, dukh aapne pucha kab khatam hoga? I think somewhere, just players hain, they have to go and perform out there, and they have to basically, yeah, I mean, you'll find just some other words to say the same thing, basically. To their credit, I must say that they've had some uncapped players like Ashutosh Sharma and that man Shashank Singh. We've had this. They have out of the blue, they've just come in and they've kind of they've infused some energy into this side. And we've had this. Speaking of Shashank Singh, there's been this reference to Shawshank Redemption, right? Almost everyone's favorite movie. Um, and But I have another reference to Shashank Redemption and to Shashank Singh. Uh, Come to think of it, it was the wrong Shashank Singh, right? That was picked, and in many ways, it speaks of Punjab Kings, right? They're picking the wrong guy, right? So they intended somebody else, and then that's the story of their life so far. So they picked the wrong Shashank Singh, and the wrong Shashank Singh performed. So perhaps it's that wrong Shashank Singh's redemption in a sense, right?
अच्छी गल-
That is
अच्छी गलती
proving
की तुमने।
for themselves. I have
आनंद,
another reference to Shawshank Redemption, uh, which is that Shawshank Redemption, if you go back 30 years ago when it was launched in 1994, it wasn't a commercial success, right? But over time, it has acquired some amount of cult status, and is a favorite, like we are talking about, is a favorite with a lot of the people. So perhaps there is similarity to Punjab Kings as well, right?
आनंद, प्रीति जिंटा का वो फेवरेट मूवी नहीं है।
No, definitely a silver lining in terms of the uh, Punjab King young guns, like you mentioned, Shashank Singh and Ashutosh Sharma, and like their anthem says, "Ek मैदान में सारे शेर है," and hopefully they can redeem themselves in the second half of this IPL season 2024. Thank you, Professor Desai, for joining us on Radio Zindagi 1550 AM. This is Archan and Dr. Mehta on CricBaaz, and on CricBaaz, Mehta is better. Thank you.